It's the simplest concept in the world, really. Gladness is nourishing. It is a gift. I feel like I want to create a space that people will always find gladness here. A safe and genuine place that gives you belongings, and no matter how bad everywhere else it would be, whenever you come back here, you can find gladness. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Lydia here. So if you're new to this channel, I just usually share some of the things I used to change my lifestyle in the past several years by building a healthy routine, by going to the gym, and by reading more books. Occasionally and more often, I've been sharing some of the fun things happening in my life and hope that can somehow, hopefully, can also light up your day as well. Today, it's almost Christmas video. I will put it up on Christmas Eve or on Christmas Day. And I just want to talk about this concept called gladness. So recently I've been reading this new book by Michelle Obama, The Light We Carry. The concept of gladness is something that I picked up from this book. It's a concept that I find it very useful, especially sometimes if I feel more stressful at work or kind of lonely or not supportive. The concept's so good, I want to share with you. Michelle Obama's book has a lot of noteworthy sentences. For the 7,000 words that I have taken down in my notebook, there are 14 matches just by the search gladness, and not even mentioned that in the whole book. But I think it's kind of hard to define how she sees gladness, so I will try to see how I can decode it, how I felt it from the book. I think it all starts on this one quote that she mentioned. It's the simplest concept in the world, really. Gladness is nourishing. It is a gift. When someone is happy to see us, we get a little steadier on our feet. We have an easier time knocking into our place, and we carry that feeling forward. I think it very well summarized the whole idea of how gladness as a concept can give you this kind of feeling. In one of the chapters, she also mentioned that they wanted to rebrand White House in a way that, I quote her here, we wanted to feel like a palace of gladness, filled by a sense of belonging and telegraphing one simple, powerful message: we will always like you here. Combining those two messages, my understanding of gladness is some kind of feeling that you are always welcome. You know that people will want to see you there and people will be happy to see you, and that also gives you a feeling of more confidence to face whatever that you need in life. Small kindness and those kind of things that can give you feel whenever you feel in a low mood or something. So the first part I want to talk about is how to catch gladness. Just to share my experience, I think sometimes our phone is really a distraction. I would say number one is to leave your phone. Do you remember the last time when you really put your phone down, upside down, and really engage in a conversation with your friend in a coffee shop? Like yesterday, I went to this super cute cafe. I didn't even want to look at my phone for like 2 hours. The conversation with my friends is great, but it also gives me a chance to really engage with the present. You know how I catch the gladness is there's a young kid and he just pushed the door. He has his dog next to him. He walks straight to the counter and he has this like a pack of something. He brought it to the owner of the cafe and he said, "This is the gift for you." Even though it was my first time there, I just feel this place is full of gladness and kindness, and everybody is just at ease with their day, no matter whether they're just there for a cup of coffee takeaway. Maybe they will chat with the owner for a bit. That was maybe a snapshot of a lot of things that happen in that cafe. But if I am looking at my phone, if I'm not paying attention, I wouldn't be able to see it. So the number one is leave your phone. And the second is you can always pay attention to life and find gladness. The smile I get sometimes from people just across the street, and when we're in the same space, let's say in that cafe, and there's an old lady, and when I was looking around, I caught her eyes and then we just smile at each other. Even though we're strangers, we don't know each other, we didn't even speak to each other, but just because we smile at each other, some kind of gladness. I spend so much time in cafes everywhere I go. I will try to maybe just talk to them a little bit more, and sometimes I will say that, "Hey, this cafe is great, thank you so much," and they will be so happy as well. And I will always try to capture those moments. I will put them down. I have this practice of every single day at the end of the night, I will write down one thing that's in my story-worthy moments in my Notion. Sometimes I looked it back and I was like, oh wow, that thing happened. It's always something that I find the gladness. It doesn't have to be grand. All the gladness, I can actually find it somewhere else. Even when I come back home, I can see all my plants, they're growing well. They couldn't interact with you. But I think just the fact that they're growing so well, like sort of give me that kind of gladness as well. A lot of people, they have different practice. They have maybe an emotional board and they have some positive folders or something. For me, I will write it down, I will process it, I will want to keep those moments in my mind. And also in this kind of incidents, I wanted to share with you as well. That's how you catch gladness. Really leave your phone, pay attention, memorize it. The second part is we understand that gladness is important and we always wanted to catch gladness. And how can we create gladness? You want to show up to other people in a way that you want to receive the energy. So in Michelle Obama's book, there's a quote: showing your gladness for another soul, be it your child or a co-worker or even someone you pass on the street, matters. Your small actions become an instrument for your own visibility, your own steadiness and sense of connection. They can help remind you that you too matter. So create gladness for other people, also in a way reinforce the idea that the existence of ourselves is the source of gladness for other people, and that gives extra meaning for life. Michelle Obama also talks about this in her book. She says that home is always where you will find gladness. It's in one of the chapters. She talks about how to do parenting. She has this nice little sentence from her mom: come home, we will always like you here. I think that's super important. Maybe for some of the folks on this channel, you're living by your own, like I do. It's very important to create a home that surrounds by gladness. I will always try to make it as cozy as possible. Having pets are always very helpful. You know that kind of excitement when a dog and a cat see their owner, they always light up and they will be like, oh, you're back. So I think that's the kind of gladness that you want to find in the home. But if you don't have the time, personally, I really love plants now. A lot of my plants, as you can see maybe at the back, they are growing super well, and it just gives me the sense of recognizing the energy of growth and recognizing that if you actually put efforts into it, they can actually feel it. When I thought of my plants, I felt like they're really happy. When I talked to my neighbors, they were like, oh, so your plants are happy. I guess so, yeah. So whenever I came back home, I can see they just grow a little bit taller as well. And then they gave me the sense of gladness when I see them. I don't think they can express it, but I can actually feel it. The second thing is light up for others. I think energy is reciprocal. If you see somebody, if you light up for someone else and they can feel it and they will be a little bit steadier in their day, they will be a little bit happier, and then this kind of create this ripple effects for everybody. I think for you to just project gladness, just a practice like everything else. It's like a muscle. The more you do it, the easier it will be. One of the things that you can actually do is, like in Michelle Obama's book, she mentioned to establish this connection in real life. So you talk to somebody who looks interesting, and you mentioned this idea that sometimes now people think it's hard to just start a conversation with another person. And then she said that to say I am curious about you is a form of gladness, and gladness, as we've established, is nourishing. Sometimes if you find somebody that's interesting, is curious, you can also talk to them. It's also a kind of way that you can light up others. You can create gladness in life. Whenever I walk into a door, or whenever I see a coworker or somebody in my life that's, even though we see each other every day, and I will still try to make the effort to say that, hey, how are you today? I remember the other day to see there's some other new joiners in the team, and then they were like, why are you so happy? Why shouldn't I, right? Because I'm seeing the people that I'm working with every day and we enjoy working together. That brought joy to me, and I want to create this for other people as well. And we sort of established this base case of gladness in the team and in my life. I think that's just makes everything easier to go forward. It's the end of the video. Last but not the least, I just want to say that people always ask me what this channel is about. I always find it difficult to define it. After reading this book, I went through all my videos and I saw those comments when some followers, they're really kind and genuine and they left me the message. I feel like I want to create a space that people will always feel welcome. People will always find gladness here. A safe and genuine place that gives you belongings, and no matter how bad everywhere else it would be, whenever you come back here, you can find gladness. So if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Let me know what kind of other stuff that you want me to touch upon. It's Christmas, and I really hope that you have a very Merry Christmas with your friends and family and celebrate properly and get well rested to go into the new year. I'll see you next time.